Hello everyone, welcome back to my digital diaries where your digital journey begins. This is the new video from the series Frontend Developer course. We are continuing with JavaScript Fundamentals. This is second part of that. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing to the channel and click on notification bell. Do join our channel for exclusive member only videos. If you like this video or the series, please do share it with your friends and colleagues who want to learn more about frontend. So let's start today's topic, JavaScript Fundamentals. Frontend Developer Course Section 2, continuing with JavaScript Fundamentals. We will start with variables. Variables are just boxes for values. In modern JavaScript, we have three ways to make those boxes: var, let, and constant. So how to define it? Var is the old way ES5 and earlier. Let comes in ES6 and is the modern default for reassignable values. Whereas constant, which also comes in ES6, it is a quick example of var, let, and constant. Var, let, and constant. Now let's talk about scope. Scopes answer the question, where is a variable visible? There are three relevant scopes in JavaScript. Global scope is declared outside any function or block. Globals are visible everywhere in browser. A global variable or a var become property on window, whereas let and const do not attach to window. Then you have a function scope. It is visible only inside the function where it is declared. Then we have a block scope. It is visible only inside a pair of braces, that is a bracket or a block, like inside an if, for, or a bare block statement also. So the global scope, we have in scope we have three type of a scope: global scope, variable declared outside any block function; function scope, accessible only inside the function; block scope, accessible only within the block. Okay, let's see difference between var and let. If we talk about the scope, var is a function scope, whereas let is a block scope. Let is a streaker. You cannot redeclare the same name in the same scope. That strictness catches the mistakes early. So if you see here in the example, in this block statement, if you see if statement, we have a var x is equal to 1, let y is equal to 2, and we are writing a console.log x and console.log y. Now x is a var and the y is a let. So if you see console.log.x, it will result 1. Var leak out of the block, whereas console log, if you see y, it will give you reference error, that is let stays inside the block. So as we said here, scope for var, it is a function scope, so it is within the function, whereas let is a block scope, so this is your block, so let's slide over within this block. So that is the difference between var and let. So redeclaration, var is allowed and let not allowed in the same scope. Then we talk about hoisting. Hoisting, this is the part that confuse most of the people. All declarations are hoisted, meaning JavaScript moves the declarations to the top of their scope before the code runs. But initialization behaves differently. In case of a var, even though it is hoisted, the initialization is as undefined, whereas let, it is hoisted but not usable before the declaration TDG. Now what is this? So var is hoisted and initialized as undefined. So you can reference it before the line where you wrote it, and you will get it as a undefined instead of an error. Let or maybe the constants also are hoisted too, but not initialized. They live in the temporal dead zone, that is TDZ. from the start of the scope until their declaration line. So if you touch them in the TDZ, you will get a reference error. So in this example, if you see here, we are writing console.log.ct and then we are defining where city is equal to Pune. In this case, we are using a where, so it will give you undefined, because in JavaScript, if you define the variable, it automatically put that declaration, that variable on the top of the your scope. So that's the, but it will not initialize it. So that's the reason it will returns, it will not throw an error this line, but it will give you undefined. Whereas if you are using a let, this line again, if you are using console.log code and you are defining let code here, then in this case this console.log is in the TDZ zone. Okay, so that's the reason it will give you a reference error. Now using loops, so where can cause bugs due to the scoping, whereas let can be safer in the loops. So loops are where let really shines. With where, a for loop does not create a new binding per iteration. Closure inside a loop all share the same I, so I will be same. With a let, each iteration gets its out of I, so closure captures correct value. That's why where can cause a scope bug, but let is safer in the loop. Now let's talk about the one of the key core pillar of a JavaScript, that is data types. Majorly we have two types of data types, primitive type and non-primitive type. So when you talk about a primitive type, these are immutable single value type. Immutable means when you change a primitive, you are really creating new value. You are not modifying the old one. Whereas the non-primitive is a mutable and complex structure. So mutable means we can change their content without changing their identity. Also assignment and comparison in the non-primitive works by reference. Let's see few of the example of a primitive type. First is a string. String is a textual data enclosed in the quotes. Then we have a numbers. Number is JavaScript has just one numeric type for both integer and decimals. One key point to remember, when you say nan, and that is also considered as a number. To type up, you say nan, it will be a number. Big int. For integers larger than what number can safely represent, that limit is given in number.max _ safe _ integer. So more than this, if your number is there, then you can use a big int. So big int represent those big numbers. Boolean. Boolean is just represent the true or false. Then you have undefined. Undefined means declared but non-assigned data. So when your variable is a declared but you are not assigned any value, it will be undefined. Then you have a null. Null means an intentional absence of values. If there is a no value, then it's null, and that is the intentional one. Then in ES6 there is something introduced called symbol, which is unique and immutable identifier. Okay, so it is used for use as a unique and unique key. So symbol is introduced in the ES6. Let's talk about the non-primitive types. So first is the object. Object is a basically key value pairs. Think it's as a dictionary or map. Most things in the JS inherits from this object only. When you copy an object variable, you copy the reference, not the data. Remember that. And then you have an array. It is an ordered list in JavaScript. Arrays are object. Again, the type is object itself with help methods like push, map, filters. Under the hood, arrays also are objects only. Then you have functions. So reusable block of a code. Functions are actually a callable object with their own type of a result. They can be passed around like values, which makes JavaScript feel very flexible. Then you have a date. Date is a a built-in object for handling date and time. Then you have a regular expression. Regular expression for pattern matching in strings like search, test, replace. So regular expression is also a non-primitive type. So these are the few data types, primitive and non-primitive. There's something called type checking. You can check your variables types. So use the type of operator to check a variable types. So these are the few examples. So if you say type of Jitendra, it will give you string. Type of 42, it will give you number. Type of null, it will tell you object. So null is an object, remember that. Type of array, it will give you object. Again, array is an object. Type of function, it will give you a function. So these are the data types in JavaScript. Now let's talk about JavaScript interactions. There are three types of interaction JavaScript support. The first one is an alert. It shows a simple message and blocks the page until the user clicks OK. This is an example of it. It does not collect input and it does not return meaningful value. Look and feel is controlled by the browser, so you cannot style it also. Alert is fine for a quick debugging and demo purpose, but if you want to use that in the production, that is not a preferred way. Model pop-up is the best you use instead of the alert. So alert, how it is used, this is an example where we are using the alert. If you see alert hello, so when you read alert hello, it will give you a message saying hello and you can click on OK button. It will wait till you click on the OK button. That's how alert is used. The next one is a prompt. This one asks the user for a single piece of text. It opens a model with message and input field, and then you have two buttons, OK and cancel. It returns a string with whatever the user has typed or null if they press cancel. In the prompt, there are two variables, arguments. First argument is a title, the message shown to the visitor, and the second argument is an optional argument. It's actually give you the default initial value pre-filled in the input field. So these are the two arguments, and how does it use? If you see this example, alert age prompt, how old are you? 25. So what it will give you, it give you a prompt, a question will be there in the title field, how old are you? And the input field, you will have a pre-filled value 25. You can change that. Once there are two options will come, OK and cancel. If you say OK, the next line will be come alert you are age year old. So it will give you are 25 years old. So this is how you will use the prompt. The finally confirm. The third one is a confirm. Confirm shows a model with OK and cancel. It returns a boolean true if you say OK and false for a cancel click. So if you see here how it is used, this is confirm box. Let is sure confirm. Are you sure? So it will give you OK and cancel option. If you press OK, it will give you true result. If you say cancel, it will give you a false result. So these are the default interactions provided by the JavaScript: alert, prompt and confirm. For better UX, it is always preferred to use a custom model from your UI framework. Let us start with a comparison. So we have a equality comparison first. So JavaScript gave us two main equality operators and they behave very differently. First one is a loose equality, that is the syntax is 2 times equal to, or if you want to do a not comparison, then not and equal to. So it will try to make the type match before comparison. That means JavaScript will convert one side to the other side's type. It will use its internal conversion rules and then compares the result. That conversion can be convenient also, but sometimes dangerous. It hides surprising conversation. So because of this, it may return true when you were not expecting it. That's why many teams avoid using the equality, loose equality, that is 2 times equality. So let's take an example. The first example, if you see here, this is the string 5 is equal to 5. If you are using the loose comparator, so this loose equality, it will return true because it will convert this 5 also to the string and then it will compare. Then you have a false is equal to 0, that also will return true. Null is equal to undefined, that will also return true. So remember, if you are using a loose equality, it first convert one type to the another and then compares it. Now the strict equality, so syntax is 3 times equal to, or if you want to use a not, then not and 2 times equal to. It check both values and type. Okay, so we check both the things, values as well as a type. So it's an AND condition, value and a type both should match. There is no conversion here happening. Type must match for the comparison to be true. So type has to match, otherwise it will not work. If you compare string with a number, it will always say false. So now if you take the same examples which we have seen in the loose comparison, 5 equal to 5, it will return a false because the type is not matching. So a false is equal to 0, it will also return false, and null will also not match with undefined. So that's a big difference between equality in the loose equality and a strict equality. For safe equality check, you always prefer the strict equality, that is 3 times equal to, and not, if you want to use a not condition, not and 2 times equal symbol. So these avoid the subtle bugs caused by the conversion. So these are the loose equality and strict equality. Now we'll see relational comparison operator. The relational comparator operator, you must be knowing this. You have a greater than, less than or equal to, or greater or equal to. Important point here that these operations are these operation also perform the conversion like you do in the loose equality. It's a similar thing is happening here. So now if you see, if you comparing 10, that is your string is greater than 2, it will return always true. Okay. Finally, few special notes. If you use nan, that is not a number, it is not equal to not a number. So if you comparing nan is equal to nan, it will not be going to be same, because it's not equal to anything, not even itself. To check for nan safely, not a number safely, you use a number dot nan, not a number function like this. Second special note is objects are compared by reference. And third thing, which is we have already seen in the loose and equality and strict equality, again I am saying the same rule, the best practice rule, that use the strict equality, that is 3 times equal to, for a safe equality check. They make your intent explicit and avoid any problems or any bugs related to comparison. So this is all about the comparison, equality comparison and relation comparison operators. And that's the wrap up for this part of our JavaScript fundamentals. We have covered some important basic topics in this part. We will continue more on the JavaScript fundamentals. There is a lot more to explore, so stay tuned for the upcoming episodes where we will deep dive into JavaScript concept and also on hands-on coding. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your fellow learners. Got any questions or a feedback? Drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. See you in the next one, only on My Digital Diaries. Thank you.